Hi, in the second phase of version 2.4, we'll be getting Jiaoqiu. Jiaoqiu has been a very controversial unit that has left the community having very split opinions on him since he was teased. But what we can all agree on is that he is a very hot character. I mean, like literally, because he is the fire element. No? Okay. Anyways, here are 3 cool things and 3 annoying things to consider before you pull for him. Before we start, I'll be giving away a supply pass / welcome / crystal card to my subscribers at 6k subs, so make sure you subscribe to enter. If you don't know what Jiaoqiu does, I have a guide link in the description, but in a nutshell, he is a 5-star fire nihility unit that has a special deity like Black Swan together with some really strong debuffs. His talent is a special deity called Ashen Roast. Each stack increases damage taken, stacking up to 5 times. We're also making all attacks also apply 1 stack of Ashen Roast as well. His skill hits Blast and applies 1 stack of Ashen Roast to the primary target. His ultimate hits AoE and set the Ashen Roast stack of all units to the highest on the field, while also increasing ultimate damage taken by the enemies as well. In addition to all that, it also deploys a zone that applies 1 stack of Ashen Roast whenever an enemy takes an action. Overall, Jiaoqiu definitely has a reasonably complex kit. While it's definitely nowhere near as complex as someone like Black Swan, it still definitely has more words than your average unit. But does just having a complex kit make it worth it? Well, here are 3 cool things about Jiaoqiu. Jiaoqiu will further increase one of the strongest teams in the game. Obviously, as if you haven't heard it enough, one of the best teams to include Jiaoqiu in is an Acheron team. Due to the frequency that he can apply debuffs, together with a damage and an ultimate damage increase, he is almost a tailor-made support for Acheron, which further increases the peak output of an Acheron team as if she needed any. However, looking at other teams, as a DOT unit, doubling down on DOT like in a Kafka Black Swan team will be a great option as well. Because he kinda has a more supportive kit, he more or less replaces Rommei rather than Black Swan in that team. Together with his damage increase and his own duties for Kafka to proc, this makes for a very formidable team. But otherwise, since he has a pretty universal debuff, ratio teams, break teams like Firefly, and ultimate relying teams like Yunli / Argentine will also enjoy him too. Due to the nature of his kit, Jiaoqiu will be an absolute beast in pure fiction. Now, he is most definitely still a very strong unit in all other game modes, but I do want to highlight his capabilities in pure fiction. Due to his major traits that applies Ashen Roast to any enemies entering the battle, Jiaoqiu becomes a very strong debuffer in pure fiction. And together with his meaningful personal damage, clearing the little mobs that spawn in pure fiction becomes much easier. However, that being said, sometimes you gotta let him cook, and it just doesn't turn out well. So here are 3 annoying things about Jiaoqiu. The unfortunate part about him is that he is either a slight upgrade or a side grade for basically all of his teams. Even in the Acheron team, where he supposedly is the best option, Pella Silverwolf or Pella Sparkle is not that much worse than using Jiaoqiu. And even in DOT teams, Rommei usually performs really similar or even better in some cases, which is all very sad to see. Being a more supported unit, you'll have wished that he was more skill point positive. To maintain a permanent ultimate zone uptime, you have to spam skill to keep it up. And if you plan to use an energy rope, you can bring it down to a skill basic skill, but that still makes him skill point negative, which isn't the most ideal thing as he is usually played in spots where other options are more skill point positive. And lastly, this one is more of a personal gripe, but I still think it is a valid complaint, and that is Jiaoqiu is only a shell of what he could have been. He has gone through, for lack of a better word, multiple nerfs over the course of his beta development. Now of course, I can understand why they did such things, as otherwise Acheron would be the best unit in the game until version 6.5, but it is still unfortunate to see a unit being hit so hard because of another unit being too strong.